The Lakers move into a new home next season, and so down 0-3 to San Antonio, entering Game 4 at the Forum. They could be looking at their last game ever in this building. If so, they'll leave behind 3 decades worth of history. It was here that West and Wilt strung together 33 straight and the title in 72. The Showtime Lakers of the 80s won 5 championships. If this year's Lakers have Superman, the Spurs so far through the first 3 games have come equipped with the kryptonite. So Kobe Bryant, Glenn Rice, and the rest of the Lakers are 1 game away from their summer vacation, and who knows what the future might hold for Kurt Rambis, hired on an interim basis. It was widely thought that unless he took his team deep into the playoffs, he would not come back as a head coach next year. Duncan with 37 points and 14 rebounds in Game 3. He has been the outstanding player, averaging some 27 points a game to 19 points a game for Shaquille O'Neal, who is dubbed by many the most dominant player in the game, but has not been in this series.
Well, he's been the most dominant maybe through 3 quarters. It's the 4th quarter that's really hurt, and the Lakers have searched for things to do in the 4th quarter that's cost them the games.
The tip to the Spurs. If you want to look for a telling stat, Shaquille O'Neal has 2 assists in the entire series. Duncan with the hook, and that's the way Game 4 starts.
Interestingly enough, Shaquille O'Neal said, I want to guard Tim Duncan, so he's guarding Duncan today. We'll see what that matchup brings.
Here's Glenn Rice with Mario Elie on him. The jumper ties the game. Shaq is a pretty good passer out of the double team to follow up on that meager total of 2 assists. But San Antonio has done such a good job in their half-court defense that they haven't been able to get much off of that. Avery Johnson switches to the right hand to hit the driving layup. Fisher comes back and tries to answer with a more difficult shot, and Robinson takes the rebound. Avery Johnson again, left hand. Elie trying to follow. Gets it back outside to Sean Elliott. Duncan off the glass.
Now the Spurs want to run. They want to get early offense. They don't want to just set the ball up in the half court all the time. And Tim Duncan runs every possession. Bob, you know, we talked in the open about the big 3 of the Lakers, and that would obviously be Shaquille, Kobe, and Glenn Rice. Look what they're doing. They're getting 63 points. That's their average. Look at the rest of the team, under 20 points. So the Spurs' whole philosophy is we can live with 60-plus points from these guys as long as we take the other people out of the game, and that's what they have done.
Fisher's 2 free throws make it 6-4 San Antonio. Avery Johnson to Duncan up high. Sean Elliott around a Duncan screen, returns it to him for the jumper. He has 3 field goals right out of the box.
You know, what will happen with Shaquille O'Neal playing Duncan, they won't necessarily post him as much as maybe get him involved in screen and roll, flash him, make him play him out on the floor rather than posting. See, Bob, when you're down 3-0, you want to keep this crowd on your side. And the Lakers right now are making some mistakes. They're down 9 right now. And San Antonio's doing methodically what they want to do. Just quietly, they're carving them up right now.
They were just resetting the shot clock on that last whistle. Look at that move by Duncan.
You know, he's got such great footwork. He's not going to try to overpower Shaq. He's going to try to beat him with his footwork and his skill.
Reed looking for Shaq, can't find him. Now Rice pops free, but there's an offensive foul called on the Lakers.
All right, now how about this, Bob? You come out of a timeout, 3 straight mistakes, 3 straight turnovers, basically. Look at this, the position Duncan gets. And Shaq has got to do a better job of taking that space away. Regardless of how big and strong Shaq is, can't give him that kind of position.
Inside, unstoppable once he gets it there.
Shaq is much better against the Spurs. When they swing the ball, he can catch the ball on the move rather than just stand on that block where they can load up on him. That was excellent ball movement. One side to the other, quick post.
Jackson looking for Duncan, but Shaq is there to intercept it.
No, Bob, it's hard for me to relate to what a guy like Shaquille O'Neal must be feeling. Works so hard, gets such great position, gets fouled, goes to the line, and is so struggling from the free throw line, even though he's made 3 of 5 today. You take that kind of pounding, and then you don't get the reward.
You get the 2 points there. He misses the 2 free throws, and then he makes sure on the dunk.
Shaquille O'Neal, as he missed his second free throw, he's the one that can see best where it's going to go, and then he rebounds it in the strong finish. Gerard King, just as coming to the game, he got a good vision there of Shaq with that power dunk. So let's see right now if the San Antonio can counter that and get Duncan maybe off against Fox today.
Spurs on a 7-0 run have established their biggest lead. They're up 12. Malik Rose trying to contend with Shaq, and this time he can't. Malik Rose is listed at 6'7". He's probably less than that, might be about 6'5 and a half. 250, big and rugged and tough, but at times overpowered by Shaq. Jaren Jackson left unattended. Kobe Bryant is hit with the offensive foul, and he now has 3. It's the Spurs by 14. Duncan makes it 16, count the basket, and bring him to the line. Duncan with 19 points.
Well, the Lakers are in trouble when you get Duncan down here in this position. You see Duncan doesn't fight it. He keeps his hands up, takes his time, catches the ball, doesn't put it on the floor, says, I've got a mismatch, just finish, and he does.
Rick Fox has 4 fouls. Duncan now has 20 points. David Robinson, the smaller read on him, out to Elliott. Now he has it back. Into the lane he goes. Ball slapped away and stolen. Here's Kobe. Ellie on Rice. Shaq has trouble with it. Outside to Kobe. Into the lane. Shaq. Crazy shot, and he puts it down. Following the timeout, Avery Johnson brings it out of the backcourt for San Antonio. Mario Ellie around a Duncan screen into the lane, but he's stripped of the ball. And here comes Rice to the front court. He loses it to Ellie, but it winds up in the hands of Reed. Shaq hits. Early in the shot clock, I don't know, even if they give him some room, that you want an 18-20 footer from J.R. Reed when you're trying to make a move here.
Not if it's not in rhythm, and that shot was not in rhythm. He caught it, thought about it, and then shot it.
Duncan slips inside. He's got 24, and San Antonio reestablishes a 10-point lead. To show you how things have changed for David Robinson this year, in 9 seasons in the league, he had scored in single digits only 14 times. This year, in 50 games, he was held to 9 or less 6 times. But it was working for San Antonio.
You know, Bob, and in fairness to him in this series, he is in foul trouble constantly as we see Shaq Duncan, because he basically said, I'll be the one to go after Shaq, and he's kept Duncan fresh, and Duncan's throwing up the offensive numbers, but it's been David and committee that have gone at Shaq.
Here's Duncan inside. He hits the basket, and Shaq may have fouled him on top of it.
Those are those fouls that you don't like to commit. Those are the touch fouls that lead to three-point plays. And once again, see, Tim Duncan is fresh. He's being played here by a smaller player. They front him. They throw over the top. Shaq is late getting there, and the little touch foul. So that's 2 fouls now where Shaq has reached in on Robinson, and the touch foul there. They can't afford that.
As strong as he is, to offer just enough resistance to be called for the foul, but not enough to stop a player not nearly as strong as you from going up there, that's not the right approach.
Absolutely. If you're going to foul, you cannot give him the three-point play. You've got to make him go to the line and make 2 free throws.
4 fouls now on Shaq to compound the Laker problems, and they're down by 15 after closing to within 4, seemingly only moments ago. Shaquille just took that as if he were playing volleyball and spiked it.
You see, David Robinson actually tipped that ball, and it went up off the glass in backcourt and rim, and then Shaq just hammered it in. What a play.
And how about that? The 2 free throws make it 82-72. Shaq with 25 and 10. Duncan. He just can't be stopped, it seems. He's got such a variety of moves in the post. O'Neal, his jumper won't go. Robinson takes it. Johnson inside to Duncan, running the floor. He will hurt you in so many ways.
He runs the floor every possession, whether he gets the ball or not. I talked to Jerry West before the game. He says, Doug, the amazing thing about Duncan, he doesn't beat you with great speed. He's a relentless runner. And if he gets it 1 out of every 4 or 5 times, he's going to hurt you.
You know, Bill Russell said that in the article that Frank DeFord wrote about Russell in Sports Illustrated a couple of weeks ago. He said, I ran the floor on every break, even though I knew I wouldn't get it most of the time. I ran it to make my team succeed.
Well, here's Tim Duncan being guarded by a smaller player. Everybody's in foul trouble for the Lakers. And then again, he runs the floor. Watch Tim Duncan. He's back there with everybody. You see Kobe Bryant running. Nobody puts a body on him. What, he's going to put his hand up like a wide receiver, throw me the basketball. Great hands. He lays the ball in the basket. And Bob, as I said a while ago, your star players are momentum stoppers. The Michael Jordans, the great players of this game. When a team would go on a run and have you on your heels, you would go to that star and he would stem the tide and get you a basket. That's what we've seen from Duncan here twice as the Lakers have made runs today.
With the Lakers trying to hold off the seemingly inevitable, they are faced with a San Antonio team that is now shooting 63% in the game. 9 of 12 in this third quarter. You're not going to beat many teams when they do that to you.
Well, I think we're seeing San Antonio playing at the top of their game, and everybody's involved. It's Duncan, it's Robinson, it's Avery Johnson, Jaren Jackson shooting the ball, so they're all involved today.
Here's Tyronn Lue finding Rick Fox for 3. Shaq trying to keep it alive. The slam and the foul.
That's illegal. To be that strong. I mean, he knocked David Robinson off of him and finished on that play as if David Robinson's a little man. Shaq just wanted this basketball. He was not going to be denied. The ball goes up. Look at this powerful rebound. He actually tips the ball to himself. And he says, get out of the way, David Robinson. This is Shaquille O'Neal, the power and grace of this man. And they need this in the fourth quarter from him also. Not just in the first 3, but in the fourth.
Kobe hustling after the rebound on the miss. Now Fox hands to Shaq for another slam. He's got 29, 14 in this period.
And see, Kobe is out of the game right now. So, you know, you got to give Kurt Rambis some credit. He didn't like the shot selection, so he takes Kobe out of the game. He is willing to do that. The question is, are the Lakers willing to learn from those shots and say, you know what, we're going to stop doing that? And we have not seen that in critical times from this team.
Tyronn Lue into a crowd. Shaq covers up for him by retrieving it and hitting the little hook. He's got 32. San Antonio still looking to put it in. Duncan brings the dribble out of the backcourt. Jaren Jackson puts the Lakers away.
Apropos, he did it yesterday. He follows it up today, and you see Magic Johnson. He's been around enough to know that was it. That was the shot to finish the Lakers off in this series.
He will come to the free throw line. If it ends here for Shaquille O'Neal, these figures are worth noting. He's in his 7th year in the league, and he hasn't won an NBA title. Well, you could say the same thing of Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, but the difference is that they were always close. They were pushing Russell's Celtics to the 7th game, it seemed, every year and having their hearts broken. When Shaq's teams, be they the Magic or the Lakers, have left, they've gone out with a whimper. Look how it's ended. In one case, in '95, it was the NBA Finals against Hakeem and the Rockets. But nonetheless, in the closing series now of his career, assuming they lose this game, Shaquille O'Neal's teams will be 1-23.
Well, I think it's going to be vital in this offseason that if the Lakers are ever going to reach their potential, Kobe and Shaq, Lynn Rice, we're all going to be here. They've got to sit down and they've got to come away with, as we see Fox with the layup, they've got to get some sense of that they need each other all the time. And when they do, Bob, they play well.
Last minute and a half. And Sean Elliott is fouled by Kobe Bryant. If this is the end of the Forum as a site for NBA basketball, think about the history that has unfolded here. in the last 3 decades. It was here that Bill Russell won the last of his 11 championships in 1969. They upset the Lakers in Game 7. It was here that Jerry West hit the shot from beyond half court against the Knicks in 1970. The 72 Lakers with the record 33 straight wins, and Wilton West and company winning the title in 5 games that year over the Knicks in 72. It was here that the Showtime Lakers won 5 championships in the 1980s. But apparently, it will end not in the fashion that it usually did for Magic's teams, but with a sweep, and the Lakers on the wrong end of it. Kobe Bryant hits a 3. What does the future hold for the Lakers and for Kurt Rambis? The immediate future for Popovich and his Spurs, either the Trailblazers or the Jazz. And we go to Ahmad, who's with Tim Duncan.
All right, I'm here with the Big Easy. Now, it was obvious. Before this game, a lot of people talked about what was wrong with the Lakers. But being around you guys before the game, I can tell that you guys are all about the Spurs and closing this game out, not worried about the Lakers.
Yeah, we came out here, we were really focused. We knew we wanted to end it here and not go all the way back to SA and have to play another game. It was great. We came out, played attention all the way through, and then finished the game.
Each game, somebody off your bench came up big. Jaren Jackson, Jerome Kersey. Every single game, somebody completely...
Yeah, we need that from everybody. We had some great contribution from like Will Perdue and Malik Rose off the bench coming in and guarding the big guy. And then Jaren Jackson came in and hit some big shots for us.
Now, who was it you wanted to give a shout out to?
Virgin Islands, everybody in the VI.
Okay, good. You've done that. Let's go back to Bob.